To discuss nature, to learn about nature, and to appreciate nature, it's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in. She offers her information only in one form. We are not so unhumble as to say the man that she changed before we pay any attention. It seems to me that it's like all the intellectual arguments that you can make would not in any way, or very, very little, will communicate to deaf ears what music, the experience of music really is. And all the intellectual arguments in the world will not convince those of the other culture. The philosophers who try to teach you by telling you qualitatively about these things. Me, who's trying to describe it to you, but it's not getting across because it's impossible. We're talking to deaf ears. And it's perhaps that the horizons are limited, which permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man.
Say, look how beautiful it is. And I agree, And he says, you see, as I as an artist can see how beautiful this is, but you as a scientist, take this all apart and it becomes a dull thing. And I think that he's kind of nutty. First of all, the beauty that he sees is available to other people and to me too. I believe, although I may not be quite as refined as aesthetically as he is, that I can appreciate the beauty of the flower. At the same time, I see much more about the flower than he sees. I could imagine the cells, the complicated actions inside, which also have a beauty. I mean, it's not just beauty at this dimension with 1 centimeter. There's also beauty at the smaller dimensions. The inner structure, also the processes, the fact that the colors and the flower evolved in order to attract insects to pollinate it is interesting. It means that insects can see the color. It adds a question. Does this aesthetic sense also exist in the lower forms? Why is it aesthetic? All kinds of interesting questions, which the science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower. It only adds. I don't understand how it's...
information only in one form. We are not so humble as to say the man that should change before we pay any attention. It seems to me that it's like all the intellectual arguments that you can make would not in any way, or very, very little, will communicate to deaf ears what music, the experience of music really is. And all the intellectual arguments in the world will not convince those of the other cultures. The philosophers have tried to teach you by telling you qualitatively about it. Me, who's trying to describe it to you, which is not getting across, and it's impossible. We're talking to deaf ears.
Believe. I can live with doubt and uncertainty and not knowing. I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. I can live with not knowing and uncertainty and not knowing. I think it's much more interesting and uncertain than not knowing. But I don't have to know an answer. I don't feel frightened by not knowing. I don't feel frightened by not knowing. But I don't have to know an answer. I don't feel frightened by not knowing. By being lost in the mysterious universe without having any purpose, which is the way it really is as far as I can tell possible. It doesn't frighten me. It's just the way it really is as far as I can tell. I mean, it doesn't frighten me.
saying that you don't understand it, meaning I don't believe it, it's too crazy, it's the kind of thing I'm not going to accept. The other part, well, this kind, I hope you'll come along with me, and you'll have to accept it. Because it's the way nature works. If you want to know the way nature works, we looked at it carefully, look at it, that's the way it looks. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. To another universe, where the rules are simpler. Philosophically more pleasing, more psychologically easy. I can't help it, okay? If I'm going to tell you honestly what the world looks like to human beings who have struggled as hard as they can to understand it, I can only tell you what it looks like, and I cannot make it any simpler. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to simplify it. I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to tell you it's something like a ball bearing on a spring. It isn't. So I'm going to tell you what it really is like, and if you don't like it, that's too bad, okay? Don't like it, that's too bad, okay? Don't like it, that's too bad, okay? Don't like it, that's too bad, okay?
Learn about nature, to appreciate nature. It's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in. She offers her information only in one form. We are not so humble as to demand that she change before we pay any attention. It seems to me that it's like all the intellectual arguments that you can make would not in any way, or very, very little, will communicate to deaf ears. What music, the experience of music really is. And all the intellectual arguments in the world will not convince those of the other cultures. The philosophers who tried to teach you by telling you qualitatively about things. Me, who's trying to describe it to you, but it's not getting across because it's impossible. I'm talking. We're talking to deaf ears. And it's when it's perhaps that the horizons are limited, which permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man. Thank you. We're talking to deaf ears. of music really is. To learn about nature, to appreciate nature, it's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in. It's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in to learn about nature, to appreciate nature. It's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in. It's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in to learn about nature, to appreciate nature. It's necessary to find out the language that she speaks in. We're talking to deaf ears, and it's when it's perhaps that the horizons are limited, which permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man. People to imagine when the center of the universe of interest, that the horizons are limited, when they permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man. Such people to imagine when the center of the universe of interest, that the horizons are limited, when they permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man. Such people to imagine when the center of the universe of interest, that the horizons are limited, when they permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest is man. Such people to imagine when the center of the universe of interest, that the horizons are limited, when they permit such people to imagine that the center of the universe of interest